You know the most dangerous moment in any great endeavor? It's not the beginning. It's not when you're staring up at the mountain from the ground. It's about 3/4 of the way up when you're exhausted, alone in the fog, and you can no longer see the peak you started for or the valley you left behind. That silence, that awful empty middle, is where almost every dream is quietly murdered. We love the ceremony of beginnings. We worship the spectacle of finishes, but we are terrified of the middle, and that terror has a cost. It makes us professional starters and expert quitters. We live for one day, but we abandon day one over and over, and we tell ourselves we've just stopped. But that's the lie. When you quit, you are not pausing. You are an architect standing on the half-built bridge of your own potential with a sledgehammer in your hands, and you begin to swing. I built my life on the promise of one day. One day, I would write the book. One day, I would have the courage to leave. One day, my real life would begin. One day is a beautiful, seductive ghost. It asks for nothing but your dreams. It demands no sweat, no rejection, no grinding repetition of a skill you are terrible at. It just floats there, a perfect future, untouchable and safe. And so I lived there in that future fantasy for years. My present was just a waiting room. I decorated it with research, with planning, with talking about my ideas. I mistook the blueprint for the building. I confused the map for the journey. And all the while, the ghost of one day whispered that I was special, that my time would come, that I was just waiting for the sign. The sign, of course, never comes. It never arrives with a flash of light. It is not an event. It is a series of choices so small and so humble they feel beneath you. The collapse came not with a bang, but with a whisper. It was a Tuesday. I looked at the calendar, and a cold, clear realization went through me. I was not closer to any of my on days. In fact, I was further away. The passion I'd had was stale. The connections I'd made had faded. The skills I'd flirted with had atrophied. The bridge I thought I was waiting to build had actually had its foundation laid years ago, in fits and starts. And I, by not showing up, by choosing distraction, by honoring the ghost over the grind, had not just stopped building. I had let the weather in. I had let the vines of regret grow over the pillars. I had allowed the quiet corrosion of self-doubt to rust the beams. Quitting is not passive. It is aggressively destructive. It is the active dismantling of your own future. You are tearing down, brick by brick, the very path that could have led you out. We are hypnotized by the myth of the overnight success because our brains are wired for stories with clear beginnings and ends. We see the launched product, the gold medal, the finished masterpiece. We do not see the 10,000 ordinary mornings that came before it. The actor who burst onto the scene after a decade of bit parts. The innovation that changed everything after 100 failed prototypes. The relationship that looks effortless after years of difficult, forgiving conversations. The middle is invisible. It is a dark forest. And in that forest, there are no cheering crowds. There is only you and the sound of your own breath. And the choice to take another step when every fiber of you screams to turn back. This is the unseen bridge. It is built in the fog. It is built when no one is watching, especially not you. So what is persistence if it is not just white-knuckled stubbornness? It is the commitment to the micro. It is the surrender to the system. It is not, I will write a book. It is, I will face this blank document for 30 minutes today, and I will not judge what comes out. It is a daily silent deposit into an account whose statement you will not see for years. They call this the plateau of latent potential. It is the most frustrating place on earth. You are doing the work, you are laying the bricks, but you see no change in elevation. The horizon does not shift. You are pouring water into a vast, dry well and hearing no splash. And so you conclude it is empty. You walk away. But what if the splash is just delayed? What if you were 3 feet from an underground river that would have filled the well to overflowing? We quit on the plateau. We abandon the well 1 foot from the miracle. Our world is now engineered to make us quit. It has a digital sledgehammer placed gently in our palm every single day. When the work gets hard, your phone offers you a universe of distraction. A notification is a tiny authorized escape. An infinite scroll is a promise of an easier, shinier thought. To persist now is a radical act of defiance. It is to say to a world screaming for your attention, not now. I am building something you cannot see. I am in the middle of my bridge. This makes the struggle modern, and it makes your quiet focus a form of rebellion. You are not just working on a project. You are defending the sanctity of your own attention span, the integrity of your own future. And this is where the one change lives. It is not a grand, sweeping transformation announced to the world. It is not a new you. It is a tiny, irreversible shift in a single molecule of your being. For me, it was the death of the ghost of one day. I stopped speaking its language. I exiled it from my imagination. And in its place, I installed a single, simple question. It is the only question that has ever mattered. What is the one brick I can lay today? Not for the grand bridge, not for the glorious finale, just for today's small, unsexy section of the path. One sentence, one conversation, one attempt, one moment of resisted distraction. That is the entire philosophy. The one change is the atomic unit of construction. It is the decision that today you will not pick up the sledgehammer. You will pick up a single brick, and you will place it, and then you will rest. And tomorrow, you will ask the question again. This is how you author a new legend for yourself. Not a legend the world will celebrate, but a legend you will have to live inside. Every day you persist, you write a sentence in the story. I am someone who shows up. I am someone who endures the fog. I am someone who respects the middle. And every day you quit, you write a different sentence. I am someone who abandons. I am someone who is easily dissuaded. I am a person of great beginnings and no follow-through. Which story do you want to inhabit? The outcome of the external quest almost becomes secondary. The primary prize is the person you become in the pursuit. You become a builder. You become a finisher. You become someone who trusts themselves. Your past is a fossil. It is set in stone. Your future is a fantasy, a shimmering mirage. The only thing that is real, the only point of agency you will ever have, is this present breath, this current hour, this today. So the bridge from your one day to your day one is built here. It is built now. It is built with the mundane, glorious discipline of returning your gaze, again and again, from the distant peak to the stone in your hand. Lay it. Then look up only to ensure your direction is true. Then look back down. The peak will take care of itself. So here is my confession from the ashes. I wasted years waiting for a day that never comes. I let the bridge crumble. And then, in the quiet ruin of that, I made one change. I stopped building castles in the sky, and I started placing stones on the ground. And the most profound thing happened. The ghost faded. The fog, while still present, became familiar, almost friendly. The work, not the dream, became the point. The journey, not the arrival, became the home. You are already in the middle of something. You are always on some bridge. The question is not whether you are building. The question is whether your hands are holding a brick or a sledgehammer. Put the hammer down. It is heavier than you think. Feel the rough, solid weight of a single brick. And in the glorious ordinary silence of this day, with no fanfare and no one watching, lay it.